Hello, I'm John Waters, and I'm supposed to announce there is no smoking in this theater, which I think is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of in my life. How can anyone sit through a length of a film, and especially a European film, and not have a cigarette? But don't you wish you had one right now? And I'm telling you that smoke anyway. It gives ushers jobs, and if people didn't smoke, there would be no employment for the youth of today. So once again, no smoking in this theater.
It would help very much if I added myself to the stage. Every once in a while, I'll almost get it right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to MEACH'S Musings again on a Tuesday this week due to the Stat Boys Sports Bar scheduling and the watch-along of the NBA. So hope everybody has had a pleasant Tuesday so far. It is June 18th, 2024. I apologize if I look more like hell than usual. It's because I feel more like hell than usual. But I'm glad everybody's here. I am still in the end part of recovering from the concussion I sustained on Friday. For those of you that missed the post, I had a fall here at home and subsequently suffered a concussion. So just kind of still in the process of defogging. That's why I didn't appear on any of the streams over the weekend, and barely appeared yesterday on Stat Boy Sports Bar and the watch along of Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So Matthew is wondering what we shall muse about. There is a lot to muse about today, and I'm very excited for that. JJ's here. Good to see JJ coming on in. For those of you wondering why we're an hour early, I had the show scheduled for 7 o'clock, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, but our friends at NoDQ.com decided they were going to have a Q&A at 4 at 7/4. So I decided to go an hour early to give the original boss man room to breathe, I suppose. Is what it is. Not much I can do about it when I'm not given a courtesy. So anyway, lots to unpack, unfold, however you want to phrase it. We did our watch along of Clash at the Castle on Saturday morning for us, the afternoon in the East, in the evening for those people live in Scotland. And new women's tag team champions. Very happy for Alba and Isla. Give me one. I'm trying to. Having to readjust in this chair is not fun when you've got a little bit of the spins here. So forgive me if I have to keep doing that with the camera. There we go. Hi. Actually, I have height, God forbid. Very happy for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I thought they got a little bit of a raw deal when they had to unify the tag titles with Ronda and Shayna, and they lost. So hopefully they'll get a good long run here with women's tag titles. I know people are kind of still on the fence about the women's tag team championships WWE, and I don't blame them considering the way they've been booked the last, whatever it's been, 5 years now. But I'm hopeful that with a pair of awesome wrestlers like Alba and Isla, we will definitely see a reinvigorated women's tag division in WWE. Not a whole lot more of note as far as Clash goes. Drew McIntyre screwed once again, which kind of led actually to what happened last night on Raw. We'll get to that one. What the hell's on my hat? There we go. Squirrel moment. CM Punk showing up in Scotland, not booked for the card, and ultimately helped to cost Drew McIntyre the WWE, the World Heavyweight Championship, with Damian Priest. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles with an unbelievable match to start the show. Just a really solid outing by WWE. Once again, the overseas crowd, this time in Scotland, as I mentioned, just on another level. It's funny. I've kind of gone back and forth with this over the last few days, and really since we'll call it since Elimination Chamber, because that was also on non-American soil. It almost feels like there's a divide within the internet wrestling community, folks, that part of it is the crowd's just genuinely happy to have WWE show up in their country, in their territory, in their area of the world. Part of it is coming off as the crowd is trying to get themselves over and kind of pull that, chanting "this is awesome" at every little thing. It definitely waters down the importance of the chant. I don't disagree with that, but I'm trying very hard to radiate happiness in the world as best I can. And I want to believe that it's just the crowd's being happy. So maybe that's just me. Excuse me. I want that going in y'all's ears. That was a couple of loud ones. Yeah, the crowds in Europe are definitely providing another level of passion. Thank you, Matthew. That you don't see a whole lot here in America. You probably will see it on Friday in Chicago, because while AEW, we all agreed, kind of overbooked Chicago in the last year, I think that CM Punk in his hometown, I think they're at the Allstate. I think they're at the Rosemont Horizon, which will be an even louder crowd if that's the case, because the Rosemont Horizon always delivers on passion and noise and love of the WWE product, or whatever their opinion may be. Because every once in a while, they not every once in a while, the crowd in Chicago will always tell you exactly what they think, whether you want to hear it or not. So there you go. It is at the Allstate Arena, so it is at the notorious Rosemont Horizon. So be ready if you're watching SmackDown on Friday to have a ruckus situation. Now, if you watched Raw last night, Drew McIntyre apparently quit WWE out of frustration with what's been going on with the CM Punk dynamic. So the question floating around is, will he be on SmackDown after quitting? Will he show up in TNA? Will AJ Styles show up in TNA with him losing an I Quit match to the WWE champion? That's what I love about this this idea that's going around of this forbidden door, this prohibitive portal, if you will. And I don't have the graphic to pull off my shtick, so forgive me. I love that we don't know exactly what is going to happen with Drew McIntyre, with AJ Styles, with these other talents that maybe aren't getting used as well as they should. There is the option with this working relationship with TNA that they could find themselves in an Impact Wrestling ring, which would be awesome. Which would be just great to see that kind of exchange, that sort of unknown is in the air. I do agree with JJ. I have long been against the what chants. I think they are just obnoxious. And I think that, while when you're in the ring and you're trying to get your point across, be it a baby face or a heel, it's difficult to talk over that excessive amount of crowd noise. So while you want to appreciate it, you want to love it, it's like, guys, I gotta talk, right? So it's very challenging. And yeah, I think Against All Odds definitely made a fan of a lot of people this past weekend. I think that is the perfect way to describe it. Congratulations to everybody at TNA Wrestling. We had a NXT superstar in Tatum Paxley cross the line and challenge Jordan Grace for the Knockouts World title. We had Ash by Elegance involved in that. You know, there was a lot of speculation that maybe Natalia. And yeah, you know, tonight with NXT, we've got, you know, a battle royal to determine Trick Williams' next challenger. And Cody Rhodes told Trick last week that it might not just be from locker rooms that we're familiar with. It could be a TNA locker room. I speculate it's going to be Raw and SmackDown locker rooms just to throw the proverbial, you know, wrench in the works, just to be that speculative, cynical asshole, right? That's what I do. But at the same time, I also really believe that it could be what I mirrored. Oh, actually, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry. Distracted by settings. I really believe that NXT or WWE rather and TNA want this to be a productive and a positive relationship. I don't necessarily think it's out to counter the AEW idea of the Forbidden Door. I truthfully don't believe those in WWE really give that much of a shit what AEW or New Japan or whoever does. But I also, you know, believe this, that none of this Forbidden Door prohibitive portal nonsense would have happened with Vince, you know. And then we've got the announcement the other day, you know, AJ's working for the Noah promotion, and we've got the Marigold crossovers as well. So there's so much happening that I feel like, once again, the Jeff Meacham Network and our partners are trendsetters, because we've got our Multiverse of Media, we got the No DQ Galaxy. All of a sudden, there's crossover with major companies in this wrestling world. So once again, we are ahead of the curve. Excuse me. But I also want to point out Mission Pro Wrestling's show from this last Saturday, Summer 11, and congratulations to Izzy Moreno, who, if you were an NXT Black and Gold fan, you remember that Izzy, the Bayley's #1 fan in the world, got her bandana ripped off by Sasha Banks at one point during a match with Bayley, and it's come full circle, because she is now the champion of Mission Pro. She's already having a social media beef with Thunder Rosa, which is her promotion. So that we just keep on going with these wonderful stories. And yeah, the We Sing on a Die tour will never. I think it'll kill itself before it kills us, because it's just going to keep on going, right? It seems like it's never going to end, which I think is wonderful. And we are going to be covering their show on August 17th. So you saw that in the watch long trailer. That's also, by the way, the same day as our next time we're going to be doing our karaoke show, and that'll be open mic night beach party karaoke. It never stops, Walter, never. So we're going to be pulling double duty that day. So be on the lookout for that on the 17th. And again, all of the karaoke's and the game nights, which as of July, it's supposed to be Saturday skirmish. We're definitely going to have folks from Team Jeff Meacham Network. And yes, agree with Walter 100%. Thank goodness the team has grown since I kind of made my solo effort a thing back in 2020, that we've grown to cover all bases. Walter's doing a watch along of the big UFC show, the weekend of Forbidden Door. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I am, as ever, happy to be at the head of that particular table. And I'm trying not to Roman Reigns or anything, but I'm very proud of what this team has become, where it's gone, and where it's going. Watch alongs of not just professional wrestling. We've got not just watch alongs of wrestling. We've got the NBA finals were covered last night by Stat Boy. So congrats to Mike. Well, thank you, I think. Still trying to work out if it's going to be Team No DQ or not on the opposite side. I don't know. Just because there's always hesitancy to commit to something, especially that late on a Saturday. Aaron has his set bedtime now, even though he's only a few months older than me. I should be sleeping better. Honestly, I should be, having his sleeping habits because God knows I don't sleep near enough. But either way, it will be, as of now, it will be Saturday, July 13th will be the night of Saturday Skirmish, our version of Family Feud, because we've got Money in the Bank, and then the 20th is Slammiversary. So the 6th is Money in the Bank, 20th is Slammiversary, and then the weekend where the 27th falls is bookended by Death Before Dishonor and the GCW show that you saw in the trailers, Bloodsport 11. So just figure the 13th is going to be the path of least resistance as far as having uninterrupted booking. But that's, again, July 13th is the tentative date for that. August 17th for karaoke. So save your money, save your super chats, kids. But please super chat today as well. I can't encourage the super chats enough, only because this is how we make our bread and butter, folks. So we appreciated the super chat yesterday during the NBA watch along on both channels. That was very sweet. I know I'm only on my channel today. That's just because of logistics, and I was trying to figure a few things out. It didn't work out that way, so we had it. So yeah, very, very happy for everybody involved at Clash, everybody involved at Mission Pro. Also, last night on Raw, very cool to finally see the Wyatt Six, SICKS, make their long-awaited debut. Very end of Raw, pretty good timing, at least for my money, that we had Jey Uso in the ring, who kind of quasi-adopted the Fireflies as his own. I'm sure the Wyatt family is, the Wyatt Six are none too pleased with that. They left poor Chad Gable for dead, because he was laid out by Braun Strowman and then laid out in the wake of the attack by the Wyatt Six. So definitely, it is. Yeah, I did too. I had a hard time. Still having a hard time regulating sleep. So I did DVR Raw in case I did fall asleep, which I did, and watched it back this morning. It's very emotional. Whatever you think of Bray Wyatt, and it's the hip thing to retroactively be enamored with the character. It at the time it seemed like there was always a stutter step, just like I did. There was always a stutter step with it. So I'm glad that whatever happens with this Wyatt Six faction, hopefully it will be the culmination of what Bray's vision had been, what Wyndham had envisioned for this group of his, because I'm definitely intrigued as we head into Money in the Bank and SummerSlam and the rest of the year that you saw unfold on that batshit crazy schedule that will never ever seem to stop growing. I've likened our watch along schedule to Disneyland. Walt himself said Disneyland will never be complete as long as there's imagination in the world. The watch along schedule will never stop increasing as long as there's creativeness and productivity in the world of professional wrestling. I love that aspect of it. Whatever you think of the, then the bell rang stuff, the cinematic presentation of Bray Wyatt was always, for me, fun. And I think the Wyatt Six have definitely picked up that ball and are trying to run to the end zone with it. I'm hoping. And yeah, as a ever burgeoning horror fan, it would have been cool to see Bray. Speaking of horror, let me bring this up before I forget. Happy birthday to our buddy Christina Klebe, who, of course, was in Rob Zombie's Halloween and made a cameo via photo in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Her directorial debut is still in the works. We're still trying to get her on the show. It's just a matter of patience and timing, folks. And also, just so you guys are aware out there, I'm trying very hard to put the positive message out. Sunday, August 25th, the day of All In, I've asked my team to have all hands on deck and have everybody involved be a part of it, whether it's commentary, production, direction, what directing, whatever it needs to be, because I will be out of studio, out of office for most of that day. in an attempt to follow up on what could be a major interview, a major appearance for the Jeff Meacham Network. This person and I have had contact in the not too distant past, and I was told at that point that the next time they were in town to follow up and to try to set something up. So I will not be present for the watch along of All In unless I can get set up at the location I'm going to be at to make this pitch to this potential guest. And I'll give you more information on that. Once I know I'm going, I'll start throwing the proverbial hints out, much like our buddy Greg Cherry did last week when he announced on the Greg Cherry Show that Thursday, June 27th, myself, Matty Laws, will join Maven Huffman, former WWE superstar, hardcore champion, Tough Enough winner, former educational instructor, and YouTube current sensation will challenge Chris Cass for the Jack of All Trades Championship. Again, that's Thursday, June 27th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. I will also be en route to or already at the Bourbon Room for, as my buddies Nikki and Bree bring their Mom's Gone Wild tour to the Southland. They're going to be in San Francisco before that. They'll be in New York before that. So looking forward to seeing my buddies. It's been a while, and I'm grateful they're bringing the show to SoCal because it's kind of a bitch to go to Arizona on purpose. Also, that week, depending on JJ's schedule, he and I are going to do our own version of booking Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door will, of course, be that weekend on Sunday, June 30th. So he and I, JJ and I, the dads on Always Are Wrestling, will be booking our own version of Forbidden Door. I think we're going to have a separate list situation, and it really depends on his work schedule. It really does. But we're still working out the details, if you will. Also with Stat Boy's schedule the way it is for now, I know he's in the Beyond this coming Monday, a week from yesterday. So, which means this show will be returning next Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So be looking for that. Greg Cherry Show. It's a chill day. Yes, it is. Just a regular old episode of the Greg Cherry Show. Hopefully I'll be able to be a part of it. Depends on my energy level right now. I'm already feeling the pain. I'm not going to lie, but we'll be live tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Whether I'm there or not, the show will be live. And of course, the following week, next week, we'll have our preview of Jack of All Trades, and I'm sure the group of us will be talking about Forbidden Door, which will be it's next Sunday already. Forbidden Door. Man, this month is flying by. Jeez. So yeah, that's really it. I just want to make sure I got my thoughts out. Again, I'm so very happy for Izzy Moreno and her future, which looks ever brighter every time I see her on social. Very intrigued by the debut of the Wyatt Six. Very nervously anticipating what happens to Drew McIntyre and the quitting WWE last night, and however long this relationship seems to blossom between TNA and WWE. Sky has a limit, as Sasha Banks' song used to say. And I think Titan NXT will definitely be indicative of where that relationship is going. But as ever, you can always count on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media to provide the coverage for all the watch-alongs that we do, covering WWE, AEW, the NWA, if they ever get a pay-per-view together, TNA, New Japan, the independents that gather our attention the most, and so much more. Again, we'll be live tomorrow with the Greg Cherry Show, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, just a chill episode. Again, at the top of the hour, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific today. Our friends at NoDQ.com, Aaron Rich will have a live Q&A, so be on the lookout for that over at NoDQ.com. That's really it. So let's go ahead and one more time run that beautiful bean footage, the trailer for our Weeks Gonna Die Tour 2024, 25, 26. SummerSlam, goodness. And we'll see you next week right here. Just using it.
the Jeff Meach'S Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.